Hey there! Let me guess. Your palms sweat just thinking about public speaking. Your heart races, your mind blanks, and suddenly, your entire body rebels against you. Sound familiar? Well, here's the kicker. 75% of people feel exactly the same way. That's right. 3 out of 4 humans would rather swallow a live goldfish than give a speech. But what if I told you that speaking in public without anxiety isn't about becoming a fearless TED Talk superstar? It's about 3 tiny shifts that anyone can make, even if you're the person who hid in the bathroom during your last work presentation. Today, I'm breaking down a foolproof system to turn your next speech from a nightmare into a victory lap. And guess what? You can start using these tricks in the next 10 minutes. Let's dive in. Firstly, raise your hand if you've ever practiced your speech 100 times only to forget your first line on stage. Felt like the audience was silently judging your shaky voice. Walked away thinking, why did I even volunteer for this? Here's the truth. Public speaking anxiety isn't a you problem. It's a strategy problem. And today, I'm giving you the exact 3-step guide I've learned from CEOs of top companies, hundreds of books, and by observing top country leader, and even I taught it to my grandma before her Zumba class speech. So, by the end of this video, you'll know how to trick your brain into feeling calm. The story sandwich method to structure any speech so you never go blank. A practice hack you'll actually look forward to rehearsing. Let's do this. Step 1. Reframe your mindset. Let's start with the biggest lie public speaking experts tell you. Just imagine the audience in their underwear. Ha ha ha. Seriously? If I picture my boss in boxers, I'm definitely passing out. The real secret? Your audience isn't your enemy. They're your allies. Think about it. When you watch someone speak, are you secretly hoping they fail? Nope. You're rooting for them. So why do we assume the worst? Here's your first shift to become an audience ally. Pre-game ritual. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, your palms slick with sweat, your heart pounding like a drum. The audience feels like a faceless jury waiting to judge you. But what if, instead of strangers, they became your cheerleaders? Here is some of your pre-game rituals. Arrive 15 minutes early. This isn't just about avoiding traffic, it's strategy. Walk in like you're hosting a cozy dinner party, not facing a firing squad. Scan the room for 1 to 2 approachable people. Look for someone smiling, nodding, or sipping coffee calmly. Walk up and say, "Hi, I'm XYZ. How's your day going?" That's it. No need to mention you're the speaker. Just be curious. Ask about their work, their weekend, or even the weather. By the time you step on stage, those 1 to 2 people aren't strangers anymore. They're your anchors, real humans rooting for you. Think of them as your hype squad. When your nerves kick in mid-speech, glance at them. Their familiarity will ground you like a warm hug. Now, here is a pro tip. If small talk terrifies you, keep it simple. "Excuse me, do you know if the Wi-Fi password is working?" Boom! Instant connection. The 3-second scan. Talk to friends, not a crowd when you step up to the podium. The lights hit you. Suddenly, the room feels like a sea of staring eyeballs. Your brain screams, "Abort mission." So, what's the fix? Before speaking, take a deep breath. Let your eyes sweep the room in 3 directions. Left, center, right. Pick one friendly face in each section. Maybe it's the woman who laughed at your coffee joke earlier, the guy in the green shirt nodding along, or your hype squad member. And talk directly to them, rotating your gaze every 30 seconds. Your brain can't handle 50 people at once. It's like trying to text 50 friends simultaneously. But talking to 3 people? That's a group chat, not a mob. By focusing on individual faces, you trick your brain into thinking, "Oh, this is just a conversation." Secret bonus. Those 3 people will mirror your energy. If you smile at them, they'll smile back. If you lean in, they'll lean in. It's like having 3 live audience cues saying, "You're crushing this." Embrace the glitch. Imperfection is your superpower. You're mid-sentence when it happens. You mix up statistics and sardines. Your face burns. The room goes silent. They think I'm a fraud, you panic. What if instead of hiding the mistake, you highlighted it? Try this. Pause. Smile. Then laugh. Say, "Wow, my brain just blue screened. Let me try that again." Or, "Hold on, I just invented a new word. Sardistics. Patent pending." Keep going like nothing happened. If you think why audiences love it. So I want to tell you, perfection is boring. Flaws, they're magnetic. When you own a mistake, you show the audience. You're human, just like them. You're confident enough to laugh at yourself. You're not a robot reciting a script. Okay, let me tell you a real-world example of this. Imagine watching a speaker say, "I'm so nervous right now," versus one who pretends everything's flawless. Who would you trust more? I think now, answer is clear in your mind. Remember, your audience isn't your enemy. They're on your team. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. So stop fighting imaginary critics. Instead, lean into these 3 tools to capture your audience. 1. Turn strangers into allies before you even start. Talk to 3 friends and let your glitches shine. They're proof you're real. Because the greatest speakers aren't flawless. They're just brave enough to be human. And guess what? You're already human. So go out there and talk like one. Let's get into second step of grabbing your audience. Step 2. Structure your speech, the story sandwich. Are you ever zoned out during a speech filled with bullet points and jargon? Yeah, your audience does that too. That's why you need the story sandwich, a structure that keeps everyone hooked. Let's imagine you're about to give a speech. Your heart's racing, your palms are sweaty, and you're thinking, what if I blank out? What if they hate me? Don't panic. Let me walk you through the story sandwich. A simple, foolproof way to structure any talk so it's engaging, memorable, and human. Top bun. Open with a personal story. 2 years ago, I stood in front of 200 people to give a keynote speech. I practiced for weeks, but the second I stepped on stage, my mind went blank. I stared at the crowd like a deer in headlights, mumbled a joke that nobody laughed at, and fled the stage early. It was mortifying. Here is the trick to simplify it. Start with a vulnerable moment your audience can feel. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It may be you spilled coffee on your shirt before a meeting, or the key? Make it relatable. When you share a struggle, you instantly bond with the audience. They think, oh, they're just like me, and stop judging you. Here the pro tip is, avoid negative openings like public speaking is hard. Instead, use sensory details. My knees were shaking so hard I could hear my bracelets clinking. 2. Filling. Link data to emotions. After my stage disaster, I dove into research to fix my anxiety. Guess what I found? 80% of people fear public speaking more than death. Yes, even more than spiders or clowns. But here's the kicker. Those same people said they'd rather listen to an authentic, flawed speaker than a robotic perfectionist. Every time you share a fact, connect it to a feeling. Let's say you're talking about climate change. Global temperatures have risen 1.2 degrees Celsius since 1880. Boring. When I saw my hometown river dry up last summer, the same river I swam in as a kid, I learned that 1.2 degrees Celsius is enough to turn life into dust. Emotional. 3. Bottom bun. Mirror your opening story. Fast forward to last week. I gave a speech at the same conference where I'd bombed 2 years earlier. This time, I opened with that cringe-worthy failure. I shared the data about fear, and when I finished, the crowd stood up. Not because I was perfect, but because I'd taken them on a journey. So, end with a full-circle moment that shows growth. It may be if you started with a story about failing a test, end with how you aced the retake. If you talked about a messy breakup, end with how you rebuilt your confidence. The secret sauce. Ditch the script. You're at a coffee shop telling a friend about your worst date ever. Are you reading from a script? No. You're using hand gestures, changing your tone, and laughing at your own jokes. That's how you should speak in public. You can simplify it by writing bullet points. Write down 3 to 5 key words per story. By making doodles. Visual cues trigger your memory better than sentences. Trust your brain. Your mind loves filling in gaps. If you forget a detail, your brain will substitute it with something equally good. Now, put them all together. Let's say you're giving a talk about overcoming procrastination. Here's your story sandwich. Top bun. Last year, I missed a deadline so badly my client emailed me 15 times in 1 hour. I felt like a failure. Filling. 90% of people procrastinate when they're afraid of imperfection. That's why I started bottom bun. Yesterday, that same client hired me again. This time, I hit send 3 days early. Boom! You've taken the audience on a ride from oh no to heck yes, and they'll remember your message long after they've forgotten the stats. The best speeches aren't delivered, they're shared. When you treat your audience like friends, swap perfection for honesty, and wrap your facts in stories, you're not just speaking, you're connecting. And that's how you turn sweaty palms into standing ovations. Let's get into third and final step of grabbing your audience. Step 3. Practice hacks. No more mirror marathons. Raise your hand if you've practiced a speech in front of a mirror 50 times and still felt unprepared. Mirrors make you self-conscious. Try these instead. Practice like you're chatting with a friend. Let's say you're washing dishes, scrubbing a pan, or taking a walk around the garden. Instead of rehearsing your speech in front of a mirror, which feels like staring at a judgmental stranger, grab your phone and hit record. Talk through your presentation. Why? Because when your brain is distracted by a simple task, it stops overthinking. You'll sound less like a robot reciting lines and more like a human telling a story. Let me explain how it works. Your dishwasher speech. Imagine explaining your topic to a friend while rinsing plates. Your tone relaxes, your pacing feels very natural. Playback equals superpower. Later, listen to the recording. You'll catch awkward phrases and smooth them out. The 5-minute rule. Tiny effort, big results. Forget locking yourself in a room for hours to practice. That's like trying to run a marathon without training, it just burns you out. Instead, commit to 5 minutes a day of out loud practice. Now I will tell you why it works. Consistency is greater than perfection. Practicing daily rewires your brain to treat speaking as a normal habit, like brushing your teeth. You'll build muscle memory for your speech without the pressure. Pro tip: set a timer for 5 minutes and go all in. No multitasking? Stand up, gesture, and pretend you're on stage. After a week, you'll realize you've practiced for 35 minutes without even noticing. Also, break between 2 sessions helps in normalize you. 3. The Wonder Woman pose. Instead of spiraling into panic, you find a quiet corner, plant your feet wide, put your hands on your hips, and lift your chin. Hold it for 2 minutes. You might feel silly at first, but here's the magic. Researchers at Harvard found that power poses like this one flood your body with testosterone, the confidence hormone, and lower cortisol, the stress hormone. You trick your body into feeling bold before your brain catches up. That 2-minute power pose isn't just for practice, it's also your pre-game ritual. Think of it like an athlete's warm-up. When you're backstage, adrenaline is surging, your body's screaming, "Danger! Run!" But striking a power pose tells your nervous system, "Nope, we're the danger here." You've got the tools, you've got the power. Now go out there and make them feel something. Because the world isn't waiting for a perfect speaker, it's waiting for you. And trust me, you're ready. Your voice is a superpower. I'll be cheering you on. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.